Welcome to Brave Alliance Episode 3. I'm Nick, aka JRPG Live, with Rudy, aka Lethality. What's up, Rudy?
How's it going, Nick? How you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks. So we got a bit of a different week this week. Had maintenance at a strange time. What'd you think about that?
I don't know if it was kind of a just a something to fix anything urgent that may have come out in the current week, or if this is the new maintenance time that they're planning for the week. They did release all the information for the upcoming events, so this could be a potential change for maintenance times.
Yeah, a little random. They didn't really say much about it. I think it was probably a sort of emergency maintenance, and they just kind of pushed ahead some of the content reveals just to go along with it. Because, well, I think it's just easier to implement that stuff during maintenance. They probably would have had to take servers down to add the images and notifications on the update board in game.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was interesting. I'm not sure exactly what was so urgent they had to take servers down for, but something. And yeah, they didn't really say much about it though.
Yeah, Gumi hasn't really said much about it since it happened, and I think they're just gonna remain kind of quiet on it.
Yeah, we'll see next week if they decide to do it again. Then we'll kind of know more. But other
Yeah.
than that, it was kind of a mystery.
Yeah.
We do now have the August rewards though for daily login. They are pretty nice. What do you think?
I think it's a huge improvement from what happened last year. For those of you who were playing around that time, you guys may or may not remember how horrific the rewards were for August of last year for getting like I think it was like 1,000 gil to like I think like 200 friend points.
200 friend points. Yeah.
It was absolutely disrespectful coming from Gumi. Like really, like I have more friends that give me more than this daily reward that I personally thought was pretty shit. But this month, we actually are getting a total of 1,000 lapis, 4 star quartz. We're also getting, I think it's 10 advanced tokens, 10 King Gigantars, 6 summoning tickets total. We do get a free one, 10 plus 1 summon ticket uh, at the end of next week. I think it's the 14th that we get it.
Yeah, the 14th.
And then we do get our usual Trust Moogle at the end of the month.
Yeah. This to me is better than last month's anniversary login. I mean, it's pretty similar, but it's got some of the ex- expedition stuff is not included. That wasn't really that awesome or anything. I think they just put that in there because it was a new mechanic this month,
Yeah.
though. Really cool. So it's good to see the login rewards staying uh, high quality as we move forward from anniversary.
Yeah. Yeah. Considering we had a pretty nice month for anniversary last month, um, I think it's a good transition. I think it's the right step in the right direction for Gumi
Yeah,
to kind of keep up with the momentum that they've had since I would want to say since like April when we started getting, the return banners and all that, and so I think definitely Gumi is stepping it up from last year, definitely fixing up what they were severely
yeah.
fucking up on last year.
Last year, the year's a long time, so it's good to see they have improved a
Come a
lot.
long way. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of anniversary, even though it's over, there is a community event being hosted by Gumi right now. Uh, Final Fantasy Brave Exvius official community event. It is anniversary greetings. So basically, they just want you to create some kind of greeting card, sort of. So it can be like an artwork or a photo or like anything basically that is
Hmm.
just your best wishes to the community, and they're going to have the community vote on their favorite, and you're going to win some prizes.
Yeah, the prizes are ranging anywhere from if they have 1K event threads, you're going to be getting 100 energy. 3K, we will get 200 lapis and the 100 energy. 5K, we'll get the ticket, 200 a summoning ticket, 200 lapis and 100 energy. And at a whopping 10K, we would get the one. I think we get an extra ticket, so two tickets total. 1% trust Moogle, 200 lapis, and the 100 energy.
Yeah, that's for everybody. For the winners of the event, they'll get exclusive prizes as well. So if you feel like entering and it's something you're interested in, I think first place gets 1,000 lapis. Second place, I'm not sure, but it was pretty decent. Something like a 5-star Moogle. And it's pretty simple. I mean, it's just sending in something with your, like a creative greeting on it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we could take Rudy in his Lord Taco outfit and say, hot sauce is red, tortilla chips are blue. Happy anniversary, Final Fantasy Brave Exvius from Lord Taco to you. There you go.
Not
And
bad. It sounds like a winner to
he
me.
just won 1,000 lapis, folks.
Bam. Just like that.
Yeah. So moving on, we had another interesting thing happen with the end of anniversary, and that was a couple of people getting their 11 pull ticket twice. I'm kind of salty that didn't happen to me. What do you think about this?
I was also not one of the fortunate few that got the that extra bug ticket. Um, I honestly I don't know what really happened because it wasn't a post maintenance thing. It was just kind of random. Some people said that it was intentional for like an actual like an exploit. Mostly has been positive. It's just been unlucky. I believe Chalet Monster came out and said that it was an unintentional bug. I don't think anybody is gonna get any kind of repercussion for receiving the extra ticket. I think they were just gonna leave it be, but I'm not too familiar. It's been kind of quiet. They really haven't
Yeah,
said very much about it, so I think they're just gonna kind of leave it alone and just look into what happened and hope that it doesn't happen for any future 11 pull tickets we get.
yeah. So I did read a thread on Reddit where somebody had asked Gumi about it. They sent a support ticket in, and they had replied back to him that they were interested in this person sending back names of those that got the extra ticket. And I thought that was funny. They were kind of suspicious, like, I'm not going to snitch anybody out. But, it could just be Gumi trying to look into the problem. And it makes it a lot easier to solve if you can find sort of like the root or where it came from or one of the, sources of the issue when going through the code. It makes it a hell of a lot easier. So I don't think that
Yeah,
was anything malicious on Gumi's
it just
end.
seemed kind of troll.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Kind
Uh,
of going with the snitches get stitches, but I don't think it
right.
was intentional for them
Yeah,
to try and throw somebody under the bus. It was more so to try and see if they can see the behavior that particular account went through and see if there was something malicious or if it just kind of out of the blue happened from the coding.
right, right. Yeah, it could have been some kind of what do they call it? An injection code, and somebody was just trolling the Reddit community. Even we haven't gotten an announcement from Gumi about it. Hopefully they come out and say, "Hey, everybody that didn't get a ticket gets an extra one," because I'd like one personally. Like I said,
Yeah.
salty I didn't get it.
Yeah,
You know.
most of us are probably gonna have to wait until the 14th to get our free one. I'm
Right.
actually still holding on to mine from the one we got at the end of last month
Okay.
for maybe the Dark Veritas banner. But we'll see. We'll see what we end
All
up doing
right.
with that ticket.
All right. We've got another little event going on coming up, and it's the for the Korean. It's basically the Exvius release on this Korean platform, and it's called the One Store, and it's their login campaign, and you're going to get some cool rewards for logging in through their client, and it's the same. You just download it through their store. You don't have to remove anything or do anything fancy. You just download Exvius through the One Store and log in through it, and you will get your rewards.
Yeah. Uh, I believe the rewards are, I have it right here in my trusty notes here. For logging in, and just for those of you who use any kind of emulator like Nox or Mimu, you don't need to uninstall your game. You just need to go to that website. We're going to put it in the description below once we've uploaded this to YouTube. Um, or obviously once you guys are start watching this on YouTube. And it's good through the August 9th. So definitely get in on that because it's only going to last a week. They are going to have a
Yeah.
secondary event followed after that, which will give you bonus 10% lapis for any lapis you purchase through the store. But the free login rewards are as follows. You get 30 metal gigantars, 50k gil, which I thought was pretty funny. 5 magic keys, which is not bad. 20 10 energy pots, 3 summoning tickets. That is what you will be getting just for logging in, and it really is only going to take you probably a couple minutes depending on your internet and how fast you
Yeah.
can download the game. But I mean, it's the 30k gigantars, the energy, and the 3 summoning tickets are well worth just worth the trouble, I would say anyway.
Oh yeah, definitely just free stuff. 3 summoning tickets for free. Why not? Might as well. All right. Well, moving on. We have one more thing I wanted to discuss. No near banner. So no near raid, no near banner. Everybody's kind of surprised. Where's the raid?
Where is the raid?
We're long overdue for a raid, so it's just kind of strange that they're pulling this out on us.
Yeah. Honestly, we should have had it by now. I'm still kind of shocked at the fact that we have not gotten it yet. A lot of rumors are going around that the near banner is not going to be coming anytime soon. The rumor is that the Final Fantasy 11 banner raid will be coming around first
Yes.
before the near banner.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, they do have to make the new global exclusive near characters, so I'm sure those might be taking a little bit longer than they're used to for balancing purposes or maybe even creative purposes. They want to make unique characters and they want to make useful characters, so it's not something that can just be rushed and thrown out there.
Yeah.
And yeah, it could definitely be Final Fantasy 11. So if you are waiting for Nier, if you are adamant on spending everything for Nier, you're going to be waiting a while, and I would suggest spending your savings on the next banner. The next banner.
Yeah.
Our first Veritas banner. So this was kind of a surprise. I remember you telling me you were surprised when you first saw the information announced. So what do you think?
My wallet was not ready. My wallet was ready for Nier, not for Dark Veritas. I think we're getting it kind of early. A lot of us were not really expecting this banner. I know a
Yeah,
lot of
I
my
wasn't.
friends, I think all of us really got blindsided by this. Most of us none of us really thought this was coming around this soon. Everybody was waiting for the Nier event. since they announced it last month during the fan fiesta
Yeah.
in Paris. So I mean, honestly, it's a welcome banner after having a horrific, very inflated and shitty banner that we have currently. Um, I think the current banner is pretty
Yeah.
shit, but I think this will definitely make up for it for this next coming week.
Yeah, Veritas banner. I mean, I talked about it last episode that I was waiting for Dark Veritas. I have him on JP's. Pretty cool. People call him, Sith Landu or Darth Veritas. It's pretty funny. He chains really well with Orlandu, so if you have an Orlandu, I mean, and you bust out the wall for him, it's time to bust the wall out again because it's a really great unit. He is probably he's not probably he is better than Orlandu. He is kind of restricted to his dark element ability, so that could be a problem. Well, it's not an ability; it's just his imperil, obviously.
Yeah.
So you can switch it around a bit, but he's going to suffer some damage loss. So he's just dark. Orlando is light. He's got some stronger base stats, but generally he is a stronger unit. So it's pretty cool. I think it's about time, even though we were kind of surprised. I've been waiting for this, and yeah, it's pretty cool. So, Dark Veritas, you want to talk about some of the units?
Yeah, let's go in depth a little bit more with all these units, starting with Dark Veritas. He is probably the best unit in this banner. We do have two 5-star units in this banner, which is going to be great. Definitely a welcome change for most notably the last two banners, including this, or not including this one. We did have Rams and Delita in this most recent one, and we did have the return of Dark Knight Cecil and Lunith in the previous one. But going into Dark Veritas, most notably is his TMR, which is Soren 6 Pride Dark. It gives him, or anybody who is equipped with this materia, 30% attack when equipped with a great sword, and an additional 30%, I believe, if you're equipped with a heavy armor.
Yeah.
So most units are able, most attacking units are able to equip heavy armor, so it shouldn't be an issue. If you do happen to pull Dark Veritas, it's going to be a very great material to farm for it just himself alone.
Definitely.
He definitely has some. Hang on. Definitely has some pretty good skills as well. Kind of gonna go into depth with them right now. Starting with his not his Osmos Blade. Osmos Blade is great. It's definitely not a bad thing to have. Defensive Barrier, which is a 20% damage mitigation for his for the everybody on the team for 3 turns. We have Abyss Guard, which is a resistance to just about everything important. Poison, sleep, silence, confuse, and disease. I guess paralyze and stun, but or paralyzing. Let's see the other one. Stone.
Stone.
Yeah. It's 100% resist for 3 turns. For the caster. So Dark Veritas, and then 70% dark resistance for everybody except him. The reason why it's everybody except him is because he actually absorbs any dark damage that gets dealt to him. So I don't know if he's going to be healing it. I'm not too familiar with the JP version of it. I would assume it's going to be the same. I would assume he's just completely impervious to it, and he would just resist it altogether. Then he's got Dark Punishment, which I believe is essentially his Dark Ruination. He has let's see, Large Sword Mastery, which will give him a bonus of 50% attack innately while using a great sword. So if you happen to slap the exclusive weapon that's going to be coming out in this story event, which we'll get more into later. It'll be a great weapon for him. Even if you slap on what do you call it? Either Save the Queen, or even if you happen to put Excalibur on him, which would be kind of counterproductive, but it would be a very, very good material for him, or a very good bonus for him.
Yeah, Apocalypse from Black Keys, or
Yeah,
sorry, Keys prior to Black Keys. I forgot the name of them, but yeah.
yeah. He does have a 100% resistance to blind, paralyze, and petrify. He has a modifier for all of his stats for 20%. So that includes health, MP, attack, defense, magic, and spirit. Like I mentioned earlier, he has a 100% dark resistance. But a bonus to that is that when he drops below 30% health, he will have a 100% modifier on his attack and defense. I'm not sure how long it'll last. I would assume the typical 3 turns, like most of those effects are. But we don't know for sure. At least I don't know for sure if it's going to be the same as JP.
Right.
Um, yeah, the last most important thing for him is impact, which is his skill that is basically a full break AoE for 3 turns for a whopping 45%. It's definitely very, very good, as you know, just as a breaker alone. Um, and yeah, he's probably the most important unit to pull for. But that's not to be mistaken for Fire Veritas, which is going to be the next unit we're going into.
Yeah, our first real strong axe wielder.
Yes, since Mercedes.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I think Fire Veritas is he's a level above.
Oh yeah, I think he's definitely above and beyond anything Mercedes could be. I think he is what she wishes she could be.
Yeah.
He is a 5-star base. He's the other 5-star unit in the banner. His TMR is Sworn 6 Pride Fire, which gives him an additional 30% attack on while wielding an axe and while using a heavy armor. Um, he has defense barrier, just like Dark Veritas, which is again the 20% mitigation or damage mitigation for your entire team for 3 turns for 20%. He has a different elemental attacks, which are arrow, flaming, and earthen axe, and dark steel, each of which give you 50% defense ignore and the respective element imperil for 5 turns for a whopping 50% to each respective element, which is wind, excuse me, fire, earth, and dark. Not only that, but he also adds that element to his weapon, or to himself rather, for 5 turns. So the imperil and the element enhancement goes hand in hand. He probably has one of the best AoE boosts for your team. It's Inspire, which is 80% increase to your attack and magic for 3 turns for your entire team.
All right.
He has the innate ability to absorb any fire attacks with his trait Flame Lord. He also gets a 150% attack increase for 3 turns when below 30%. He has innate Axe Master, which boosts his attack for axes by 50%, or when he's using an axe by 50%. He has innate Refresh, which is something I forgot to mention about Dark Veritas. Excuse me. He has a 20% attack and defense modifier, 10% MP, and 30% HP. And he is the first unit of 2 actually in this banner that have Firaja. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with the Ja skills, it is the 4th version of the elemental black magic. The first unit that we saw that had such skill was what's her name?
Ash.
Ash from the Final Fantasy X banner.
12, but yeah.
12, yes, 12. Sorry.
Yeah, they have
12 banner.
that was a rough month, so we'll let that slide.
Yeah.
Everything just
Um,
kept coming.
yeah, oh yeah, it was just back to back to back. Um, excuse me. So sorry guys, I'm sick. So definitely another unit to pull for. He's gonna be a very great finisher. I think he's gonna probably
Oh,
take
definitely.
over. Probably gonna be up there with Olive. Simply because he covers more elements.
Yeah.
Um, I think that alone will give him a pretty good boost for anything remotely, for any kind of finisher. He's going to be great for, I would assume, for the robot trial, because of his earth, which, excuse me, his earth element. Uh, and speaking of earth, we're going to be moving on to Veritas, the Earth Veritas. Uh, Jesus. Um, Earth Veritas is I would say, the main attraction for the 4 stars. His TMR is Sworn 6 Pride Earth. No change there except for the element. He gets a 40% defense buff with heavy shield, and a 40% attack when using heavy armor. He has a skill called Omni Block, which means your team cannot be broken for 3 turns. It has a 100% resistance to breaks. He has Defense Bearer, just like the other 2 Veritas. Again, to reiterate, it's the 20% damage mitigation for your entire team for 3 turns. He has Earth Resistance for the entire team for 100% for 3 turns. Uh, Much like Warrior of Light, he has a skill called Guardian, which allows him to protect all of his allies for a 60% chance, which I think is slightly lower um, than Warrior of Light, which I believe is 75%, and a chance of mitigating 35% attack or magic attacks, respectively. He has Earth Lord, similar to Flame Lord and Dark Lord, which gives him a 100% resistance to Earth damage, and he gets a bonus 100% for defense and spirit for when he drops below 30% health. And he is the second unit that has a new elemental Jaska, which is Stoneja, which is the Earth version of the Black Magic skills. Moving on to the next unit, which is Victoria. She is the other 4-star unit in this banner.
Yep.
And she is a mage. I've seen a handful of new mages in the last several banners. Particularly, she's actually pretty good. Her TMR is called Dark Robe. It gives you 35%, or no, sorry, 35 defense, 55 magic, 20 spirit, and a dark resistance of 30%.
Yeah.
Jesus.
55 mag. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's really good. For a robe, I think that will be the best in slot for magic.
Okay.
I don't think there is anything higher than that, even with a percentage modifier. I don't think any of the mage units reach anywhere near 1,000 yet. So I think that will probably be the best in slot for robe, probably for a while to come. She has the best magic boosting skill in the game when she comes out on Friday, which will be Magic Awakening. Unfortunately, it is only for 1 turn, but it is a 200% boost to your magic for that turn, which is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very good for finishing, or even just for chaining. It'll be great if trying to finish off somebody. She does have dual black magic, like most of the more recent mages, and any mage actually that hit 6-star. Except, I think, Kefka. I don't think Kefka got double or dual black magic.
Yeah. Not sure.
I don't remember. Not a very memorable unit, but definitely a very memorable character. She does have a massive break, which is called Farewell to Wisdom, which is a magic and spirit break for 3 turns. It's AoE. I believe it's for 50%. I actually Forgot. She has she has a skill similar to Emperor and Dark Fina, called Overflow, which is a 2.2 times magic AoE attack. Um, and you can cast it up to 7 times for an additional 1.2 times modifier per cast. She has a 20% magic boost whenever you're wearing a hat and robe innately. So that stacks pretty nicely if you do farm her TMR. She does have refresh built in, and she has a series of pretty high-end magic attacks. Graviga, Meteor. She is a second unit with Firaja and Biora.
Okay.
So not many units have Biora. And for it to be on a 4-star mage is going to be pretty nice. And last but definitely not least is Timothy, which is the 3-star unit in this banner.
Little Timmy.
Little Timmy. His TMR is called Trick Hat. It gives you plus 35 magic and spirit and 15% MP, and that is a hat. Now, I believe that will be the best in slot hat.
Yes.
Followed by the cat ear hood, if you haven't gotten the cat ear hood.
And creepy mask.
And the creepy mask, yes.
Creepy mask is better than cat ear hood, but yeah.
Percentage-wise, yes.
Yeah, for magic.
Yes, for magic, yes. He has a 50% break for one enemy, unfortunately, of each type. So it's either attack, defense, magic, or spirit kill. He has a built-in regen for health only. He does not have a refresh. And he does have auto protect and shell. Those are the only things that are very notable about him. I do believe in JP he got enhancements, which make
Not
him
sure.
a more notable unit, but that'll
Okay.
probably be later down the line.
All right. Yeah. So to summarize, we have one of the best chainers in the game out of Dark Veritas, one of the best finishers in the game out of Fire Veritas, an excellent tank out of Earth Veritas, a decent mage with a great TMR out of Victoria, and a 4-star, so we can't discount that Earth Veritas and Victoria are 4 stars and also great units. And little Timmy is a 3-star. He is a great support unit if you are lacking a support unit like Marie or Riku. If you don't have any of those and you end up pulling little Timmy, then wonderful. If you do pull him, though, and have a support unit, he has best in slot TMR for mages. Or if you're rocking a Fry, then you definitely want to get Timmy's hat. I'd say this banner is a resounding yes, 100% pull. Blow your near load on it, honestly. Screw near. We don't know when it's coming at this point. It should have been here by now, so at this point, it's really out the window. Like, could be here next week. They could troll us like, haha, Veritas near back to back. and then, you know, next thing you know, you're taking a second mortgage out on your house. But
Yeah.
I say Veritas now near, you know,
If your wallet can afford it.
yeah, near could be far. So
Yeah.
don't worry about it for now.
Yeah, I would definitely second that. I would 100% agree. This is definitely the first banner that I would say every unit in this banner is good to an extent. Of course, Timmy would probably not be somebody you stick in your team, probably maybe situational. For new players, I think he'd be a great unit for the breaks and for his TMR. But for the veterans, I think even his TMR is good for us veterans. All the TMRs, to be perfectly honest, are great. With 3 of them being materias, which is always good. It makes it a little more versatile. You don't have that restriction of what unit can use what as far as gear. Victoria's Dark Robe is going to be great for your mages. If you don't have any mages, Victoria will be a definitely good addition to any team. If you don't have any 5-star or even X Death, which was available recently in, I believe, 2 or 3 banners ago. Um, Overall, you can't go wrong. There's 2 5-stars you can pull for. There's 2 great 4-stars that go into 6-star that all have a great set of skills. This is definitely a fuck yes, you should pull for this banner.
Yep. Pull on this banner. 100%.
Yeah.
Pull, do the half pulls, pull all you can. Definitely milk the banner as long as possible. The rate up on these units are 100% worth it.
Yeah.
Alright, so aside from the new units that we have coming, we have 2 new events coming. One is a continuation of our current event, Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yes.
It is the High Seraph, and it's basically a trial boss for us for Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yeah. Let's see here. It is a new. Essentially, it's what they've done with pretty much every banner, is they always release the typical content you'll farm, and then they'll release a trial to really test your skill. Believe the boss's name is
High Seraph.
High Seraph.
High Seraph Ultima was the normal boss.
Yes, this is Grand Seraph
Right, okay.
Ultima. He is a demon. He is 100% resistant to earth, light, and dark. So of course, if you happen to decide to try him after the or the Veritas, 2 of those units will be absolutely useless. He is resistant to every ailment except sleep. He only has a 50% resistance. And he is immune to every break except, I believe, magic. Yes, except for magic. So if that's any kind of indication, it's probably safe to assume he is going to be a mage, similar to the High Seraph that is currently available in the Elite version of the current banner event.
Yep. So 100% immune to light. Don't equip your units with Excalibur. I know we had the whole fiasco for the first couple of days. People were equipping their Agrius with the dual wield Excaliburs, or one Excalibur and a Genji blade, or save the queen, right? And you take them into the event, and you're like, well, wonderful, I'm at the boss, and now this Agrius does nothing to them. Thank you, friend. That's okay, I left you guys on my friends list.
Yeah. The rewards are actually pretty reasonable. I noticed recently that Gumi decided to, I don't know if this was intentional or if they're just getting lazy. I think it's kind of good and kind of bad at the same time. You get 1 less reward, but they split the TM Moogle into 5% Moogle. So you get 1 for clearing, and you get 1 for completing the trial. There is a
I do kind of like that, though, just to say really quick, because you can get 5% to somebody and 5% to somebody else. Like, it isn't just a solid 10%.
Yeah, it's more versatile to use, as opposed to just having to use the 10%. Let's see, the other rewards are you get 10k currency for the current Mod King banner if you clear it in 11 turns or more. So for those of you who are trying to destroy him instantly, remember he does have 4 million health, so it's not going to be very feasible for a lot of you. But for those of you who can, try to wait 11 turns before you nuke him. If you clear it with no items, you get a 15% wind resistance materia. And if nobody on your team gets knocked out, you get the False Saint materia, which gives you 10% MP and 20 magic.
Definitely pretty good materia there.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's a cool event. All the rewards are useful, and the materia for being free, basically, is you can't go wrong.
No.
Our next event is along with the Veritas banner. It's for Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, and it's Time for Revenge.
Revenge. Yes. Now this is going to be the Veritas event, and you are going to be getting a whopping 700 lapis, 3 tickets, 5-star Moogle. You will get 2 of each ability awakening material. You will get 10 sacred and holy crystals for those of you who struggle to get them. There will be 20 of each 6-star awakening 2-star quartz, which whatever. There will be 3 exclusive items, starting with Organix, which is a great sword of 74 attack. It has the dark element for it. We have protective armor, which is a heavy armor with 42 defense and 38 spirit, which is pretty good for heavy armor. And we'll also be getting a protective helm, which is 15 defense, 20 spirit, and auto shell. All in all, it'll be a whopping 580 total energy to clear the entire event. Should you not have to repeat any of the battles.
Okay, so that's reasonable, and it's nice that you will get a free Dark Element weapon if you do happen to pull Dark Veritas. That'll 100% be useful. Don't skip out on that. The what was it? Oh, the armor and the helmet are not bad if you need those items. The auto shell, not really too sure about it. It's not too useful, but hey, whatever. They're free, so
Yeah.
All right, so that's a pretty good event.
Yeah.
At least we still have 2 going at once, which is cool. So.
Yep. Moving on to one of the interesting things that we were actually discussing about last episode. You can catch that on our YouTube channel. The return of previous bundles. Now, obviously, these aren't the Lapis bundles or the guild bundles.
Right.
These are the paid-for bundles in the cash shop, the cash shop. Which is the return of the gold and copper bundles. Now, the gold bundle was $12, and you got 2,500 lapis, a 5% trust Moogle, and a guaranteed 4-star EX ticket. It's pretty good for anybody. It was definitely the gateway for free-to-play players to hop onto the paid side. Turning most of them into guppies, some of them probably dolphins, and very few whales. And the copper bundle, which consisted of 1 summoning ticket, 10 Gigantars, and 10 King Gill Snappers, and 70 energy. Now, for $1, that's really not that bad. It's actually pretty nice.
Yeah, not
realistically. I mean, that dollar is definitely going a long way. It may not seem like much, but for $1, you really can't go wrong.
And buying the bundles, remember, the points go towards your Exvius points as well.
Yes.
So, if you're trying to get up to that 5-star ticket, this is perfect to get some points on.
Yeah. All right. That's the end of the bundles.
All right, yeah. So that's pretty much it that we had to talk about. We don't really know much about Nier. We have no idea when it'll be coming. I know we talked a lot about it last week, and we're saying, Nier, wait for it. But, nope, we have no confirmation from Gumi. The rumor is Final Fantasy 11, if not Nier. And like I said earlier in the episode, they're probably working on the global exclusive characters. Of course, they want those to be memorable and cool characters. So,
And if it's any indication of the last several exclusive global units we've gotten, like Fravia, I believe Roberta is exclusive,
Yeah.
Olive, all those units are still in the meta. There's definitely high value units. Um, all of them with the respective advantages, and they're definitely all high up on that list. So it's probably safe to assume that both of the units are going to be very good. Whether they're both 5 stars or if only one is a 5 star, it's safe to assume one of them will at least be a 5 star,
Yeah.
just to get more people inclined to pull. Um, for those of you who have played near, I'm sure a lot of you will be hopping onto the train and pulling. Um, but as far as any of the other upcoming events, and hopefully, just on small, speculation, we're hoping that Near comes soon. But at this rate, I don't think it's going to be coming anytime soon. Like Nick said, they're probably working on the units that are going to be exclusive to global and trying to get them to somewhere where it's respectable and worth pulling for. Um, we're probably going to end up getting the Final Fantasy 11 banner, like the rumors are going around. But looking at the release schedule with the Veritas coming out, it is rumored that Onion Knight will be coming very, very soon. Now, granted, with Global having a crazy schedule and having exclusive events that may be still quite down the line, but Onion Knight was around this time that he was released shortly after the Veritas banner, the first Veritas banner, which is this one.
All
Um,
right. Well, that's a lot to take in because there's a lot of crazy units that are coming out. There's a lot of units that people are going to need to prepare for, and a lot of game-changing units are coming. I mean, geez, we just had so many change the meta, and now Gumi's like, here, have some more. The meta is I don't even know at this point. It's going to be the same, but who's going to rise to the top and who's going to fall down a couple notches? That's what I'm curious to see as everyone trickles into global at this rate.
Yeah, with the release of Dark Veritas, he will more than likely be taking that number one slot away from Old Mandu, just as Lunith and Dark Knight Cecil have, as far as the top damage for attack. Orlando is still the best chainer, but overall single target damage, both of them outshine Orlando. But with the release of the Dark Veritas, I believe he will be taking the number one slot from him, as he is, like we were talking about earlier, in any way, shape, or form, way better than Orlando.
Yeah. Yeah, he's pretty much identical in ability set, except he's stronger.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's all we have for this episode. Be sure to follow us on Twitch and Twitter if you use Twitter. And be sure to subscribe to the video. And that way, next week when we release episode 4, you will get an update for it. You have anything else you want to add, Rudy?
No, that's it. Again, as always, thank you guys for your support. Again, follow us on Twitch. You can see Nick at twitch.tv/JRPG_live. You can follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/lethality with a 7. Yeah, again, thank you guys for your support. Don't forget to follow us on Twitch, Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're going to keep these coming out every Wednesday, unless for any reason Gumi decides to change the maintenance schedule towards the later side. Obviously, this week we had the information a little ahead of time, so we were a little more prepared today than we normally are. But yeah, that's it from me.
All right, that's the end of episode 3.